Hello everybody, my name is Zen and welcome to my first impressions of Little Witch in the Woods, which is a charming looking game in which you play a witch in the woods. I don't know why I would expect anything else from this game other than what the title says, and that I can appreciate. It is a little strange. The title screen for this game does not have any music, but this is the furthest that I've seen from the game. As with all my other first impressions videos, we're gonna play approximately a tiny bit of the game and see what it's about, and that'll help you decide whether or not it is for you. It is in early access. I'll put a link to it in the description, so just kind of keep that in mind that the game isn't finished. It is still in progress, and this is this development team's first game, so you got to give it a little bit of grace there. But let's start a new game of which I have to use the arrows and Z, which is such a strange look. Okay, whatever. I'm not the one who determines controls, but that is not an average control scheme for a video game. The art style is super cute, as you can see, and I like it. I guess we're Ellie. I wonder where the carrot was. What carrot? Click. Wait. Oh, Z makes it go forward. You're still thinking about that? We found everything except for the carrot. I guess it's our cat that was just talking to us. It is. It's a good thing that we never found the carrot. There was something off about that legendary carrot soup recipe. I just realized we never checked the men's restroom. What? Yes, there are just some lines you don't cross. We searched the whole school, save for that place, but we never found the carrot. Oh, is this like we come back from Hogwarts? That means the carrot was in the men's restroom. A carrot in the men's restroom? What an odd sense of humor. I should write Jenny a letter asking her to look through the men's restroom. Can't you ask Will instead? It's the men's restroom after all. Nope, that coward finds it, he'll take it to the teacher bawling like before. Keep in mind that if it weren't for Will, you'd be in jail right now. Or 6 feet under. Ugh, I'm so bored. It's a flashback. Flashbacks are supposed to be boring. I see why no one else wants to ride this god-awful train. It's boring enough to drive anyone insane. Hey, a ticket for this train costs 500 pies. I beg your pardon? Oh, what kind of absurdity is that? Pies? Why are you paying in pies? What is this world that pies are a currency? And it's stop the witch's house in High Lion, where all roads lead to. Your second place at the school for witches. Whatever, I don't care about any of that. How am I second place anyways? I even sneaked into the forbidden room twice. 3 times. I even looked through the forbidden books in the hidden library in the school basement. I still remember that horned rabbit that was as big as a house. No wonder Will started crying. So how did I manage second place? I simply didn't want to lose. Cut it out and sit quietly. This is a train only for those who want to succeed. The witch's house might be dark and damp, but it's only 3 years of your life. Fine, enough with the lecture. As a matter of fact, I'm disturbed with the thought of taking off my shoes when I get off the train. Shoes? For what? I wonder what kind of trouble you'll get into when we arrive. I won't fool around the moment I get there. I don't know. You had self-awareness. Don't you know about the terrible city of rules that is Highline? I'm just going to point this out. The team could use a writer. It's not that the subject matter is poorly chosen. I think the idea of a school for magic is really popular. Obviously Hogwarts and Harry Potter stuff, super cool. Heck, even many D&D games are set in a school of wizardry because that idea is so freaking cool. Or you jump into Skyrim and like the magic school. Crap, what is it called? Oh, up in the north of Skyrim. I'm forgetting the name. You know what I'm talking about. This concept, super cool, love it. But it appears we're heading on a train off to some witch's hut where we're going to spend some time, and that's going to be the game. Very Stardew Valley-esque, I guess, in that sense, where you're going off to an area for a time, and maybe you end up loving it there, and that's where you stay. I don't know. I'm not presuming that's what it is, but the actual dialogue, the written dialogue, could use some work. The first thing to do is to take your shoes off as soon as you get off the train. This is my first time hearing something like that. I heard that Jenny's older sister was wearing strappy boots when she first arrived at High Lion. So she almost couldn't get off because she had to unstrap them completely. See, Mom bought me new shoes as well. Didn't Arya just mean to encourage you? No, Dad also did say that comfortable boots would be better. That's strange. It's true. I'll also ask other people if you don't believe me. See, like this, all of this is unnecessary dialogue that is not necessary. Keyword gain, lace-up boots. Okay, it's necessary for getting lace-up boots. It's a pain to wear lace-up boots if you're boarding the train to High Lion. The truth remains one. All right, so we can investigate our table. The food was really delicious, though. Your face was bright only when you were eating after getting on the train. Okay, I could actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably a translation issue that is causing the dialogue to feel very Google translated. The omelet that was overflowing with cheese and crab meat as soon as it was cut. The pink salmon steak seasoned with fresh lemon-scented kiwi sauce. Even the slightly frozen strawberries and peach sorbet with whipped cream. Without this meal, I would have jumped off the train sooner. It's definitely different from the food you buy at the store, at the school for the witches. I ate that to collect the Great Witch Series cards. I can sympathize. I got scolded because I was caught keeping the card and throwing it away in bread. Or throwing away the bread. Don't do that again in High Lion. I'll definitely try the Nibika cakes there. That's if I get to High Lion before I get bored to death. You know what? You're telling me. So we have an inventory with tab. Truth remains one. Should shoes be taken off when arriving at High Lion? Ask others. Cool. Bartender, tell me, do I take off my shoes? Hello, Mr. Bartender. Hey, want a drink? No, I don't drink alcohol. Do you have any tea? Of course. Then I'll have a cup of that. The tea has alcohol, though. Is it okay? But then that's just alcohol. Alcohol with tea. Potato, potato. Then can I ask you a question instead of a drink? Anytime. Okay, keyword conversations, right? We could choose it. Something on your mind. Chit chat, personal stories, shop. I could shop. All right, special. Lace up boots. Can I take a look at your shoes? My shoes? What for? I like the setting here where it's like this cat bartender is sitting there doing his job. And the person that he's conversing with just doesn't even want him to do his job. And all of a sudden she's like, can I see your shoes? It's like, what what is this person? From what I've heard, you have to take your shoes off before you step foot into High Lion Station. You work at the train. Yeah, it is a weird translation issue, I think. You work at the train, so you know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, that story. Absolutely. Plenty of confused passengers who were all dressed up for High Lion. If you're wearing shoes of that sort, I'd advise you untie them in advance. Oh, ye who reacheth High Lion, look first upon thy shoes, or that's how the saying goes. See, Virgil, I was right. The preppy boots Mom gave me as a present tell me just as much. Those are some nice boots, right? My mom bought them for me when she found out I was graduating. I beg your pardon? It sure is amazing you're graduating despite your antics. What kind of game is this? You're gonna I understand there's a saying there, but that's just funny. You're gonna come up with that attitude of yours. Ha ha. Hearing the two of you speak, I have a feeling being boredom won't be an issue. Nope, it's so boring. Aren't you bored, Mr. Bartender? I've gotten used to it, but it's certainly gotten less boring thanks to you and your hat. You've been listening? Other guests would have heard about your arson at the school for witches by now. I didn't set it on fire. Really? Sure, there was a fire, but it was because I shook a potion 5 times and made it explode. Potions must be shaken 3 times only. Even a non-witch like me knows that. Exactly. How can you not try shaking it 4 times, having heard that? But you said you shook it 5 times. Okay, at this point, I'm literally done with this. Like, this dialogue, it is so bad. There's a lot of, and this is, it's a criticism, but it is it's also positive feedback too, right? So because it is in early access, the kind of stuff that can change. And by providing feedback, you know, that's how we get better. Constant dialogue that actually doesn't progress the story forward is absolutely useless and needs to be cut out. Like, I don't need to know about these stupid boots or the potion being shooken 5 times instead of 3, and that's, everybody knows that. It's like, okay, unless that's an actual gameplay element that you're presenting to me, then there's no reason to be reading this absolutely boring dialogue. And that is part of the problem too, is the game keeps telling me how bored I am, which is not a good thing. If you're writing dialogue for a game, you definitely don't keep telling the player how bored everything is, because then the player can only think about how bored they are. So it's very bad, very bad. Okay, can I go off the train? No, it looks like stairs. Definitely looks like stairs. Can't do that yet. Let's open our notes. Lace-up boots. It's a pain to wear lace-up boots if you're boarding the train to High Lion. Related quest. The truth remains one. Related persons. I gotta ask this little squirrel guy. Okay, let's do that. There we go. Let's go find the squirrel. I can't go that way. Oh, there we go. There's our squirrel. Oh, and there's a cat. Is it a squirrel? I don't know. It's a squirrel, beaver, chipmunk thing. Up ahead is the engine room. Okay, I don't want to chit chat. I want to talk about lace-up boots. We don't check the passenger's outfit. Even if you don't check, it's inconvenient to get off if you wear strappy boots. There are so many different types of clothing that can cause discomfort. I can't define them all. Then, what about having a hard time taking off your shoes when you get off? Delays occur once in a while due to their shoes, but again, it's not regulated. What does any of this have to do with shoes? Okay. I believe I have spoken about shoes. Right, so if I go to my, N, right, so I've talked to him, and we've not talked to the cat lady. Ordinary passenger. Hello. Oh, it's Roy. He's so foxy. Oh, hello. Am I disturbing you? Negative. What's the issue? Oh, I want to ask you about something. You're on the way to High Lion, right? Correct. What's the matter? Oh, it's just that you have a very blunt way of speaking. Does he? Oh my habits die hard, especially when one is deep in thought. You sound like the janitor from my school. Well, I used to be a soldier. So what brings you here? Speak. Before the, you know, it's fun because the dialogue is, it's entertaining. Before that, what? You've been staring at my feet for a while. Who does that? Is there some kind of problem? Oh, I was going to ask anyway. Isn't it uncomfortable to wear such strappy boots? Takes some time to put them on and take them off, but I'm used to it. Then it would be hard for you when you arrive at High Lion. What? What are you talking about? I mean, you have to take out your shoes off when you get off. What? 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 Huh? Oh, you were kidding. I'm sorry. I'm rather dull when it comes to things like this. Jetty? Mr. Bartender? The mystery has been solved. Did I make some kind of mistake? No, I just realized that I was deceived. Come to think of it, I remember now. It's a joke to make fun of people who visited High Lion for the first time. Stop, you don't have to kill me twice by giving me that much detail. I'm sorry. Are you holding back laughter? No, I'm not. He's trying so hard to be considerate of you. Don't ask twice. Virgil, I hate you even more now. You don't need to be too upset. When I was there for the first time in the past, I was also tricked by a colleague and took them off. That doesn't comfort me at all. I'm sorry. How do you feel? Why are you asking me that? Your molars might fall out. Relax a bit and tell me. I can't believe Jenny deceived me. There's a reason why she's your friend. Now, go back to your seat quietly and wait until we've arrived. We still have 3 more days to go. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? 3 more days? That's terrible. That's as terrible as the smell of spotted shiitake mushrooms. 3 more days of being on this train. I don't know if I can handle that. They got that right. It's the only pleasure on this train. Yeah. All right, now I have some patience. Stay seated. Ugh. We've completed our first quest. I'm bored. Stop telling me that. We are on a train and this game is a literal train wreck. Stop telling me how bored you are. But you just sat down. This is torture. Ooh. Stare out the window if you're so bored. Yeah, look outside. Look at that mountain. It must be hiding a cave with strange pillars, statues, and a giant door. Sounds like the prologue to a story where you awaken a terrible demon. Wait, hold on. Virgil, shut up and look out the window. At the summit of the mountain, there's a gigantic shining tree at the top. A gigantic shining tree? Why is it shining? Does it have luminous flowers? It must be beautiful up close. This is the most exciting thing that's happened. Give it up. This train won't stop for 2 days. Ugh. I want to get out now. I hope we crash. Please, please do it. Fat chance of that happening. Just say stay bored. After all, you signed up for 3 years of even more boredom. Oh my goodness. Why aren't there any confident whatever? Nope. What about boa constrictors? This isn't a jungle. Train robbers? This isn't the Wild West. It's a healing game, remember? Hey, a boa constrictor. Yes! The correct line is, what's going on? There's no station here. Why are we stopping? I'm not sure. Maybe there's something wrong with the train. I doubt it. I doubt it's a boa constrictor, though. I don't care if it's not a boa constrictor. Please just say there's some massive critical issue. Please, please, please. I agree with the main character so hard right now. We apologize for the inconvenience. There's a boa constrictor. Now, a critical issue, perhaps? The train cannot continue its journey due to a critical issue. Yes. Attention. The train will stop until tomorrow morning. And the departure time? Can we go outside? Will likely be announced tomorrow. We will depart immediately if possible. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. In the meantime, please avoid wandering too far from the train. Let's go. I'm not sure if you remember, but of course I remember. The shining tree is at the peak. No, not that. We have to be back by tomorrow morning. Then we should get going. All right, can we get some gameplay? Let's see if that was just, you know, typical, like almost like JRPG type of stuff where like the first 45 minutes of a game is just a bunch of dialogue for world building and esoteric, descriptions of like all of the stuff going on in the world so that you're politically caught up with the world. So when you finally get into your first combat against a rat, you know what's going on, right? I love JRPGs. Don't get me wrong. But it's a bit much sometimes. Wow, it's so dark. If you're scared, we can go back to the train. I love it. Let's hurry. All right, we can open a memo board with tab. Okay, ping. Okay, we search the shining tree seen from the train. What? Why is it? Oh, I don't know why. Like my brain just reversed the controls for a second there. But in my head, I was like, why am I pushing right and it's going right? Don't ask. It's been a long week. It's a hill. It won't be easy to climb. Look over there. There are vines hanging on the hill. I'll be able to climb that. It's bad news. Okay, yeah. Oh, there we go. I thought I was going to fall for a second there. I just got to actually control it. It's a secret passageway, Virgil. I don't think it's a secret or a passageway. That's pretty funny. I bet there's a path beyond here. You know, so I will say this because this is one of those things that can get lost in translation here. Because you can look at this and be like, oh, he's just being really negative about a game. And obviously there's things to criticize here because it's not perfect. It isn't their first game though, so you've got to give grace. But at the same time, please keep in mind that I am a game developer. I have written 4 games, narratively speaking, world building speaking, and dialogue speaking stuff. So like writing is definitely a strong suit of mine. I've been a writer for quite a while. Game design is also one of my massive passions and something that I enjoy heavily and something that I've worked at professionally. And I'm not saying these things. I'm not being, critical of a game just to be critical of it. But in order to make sure that the game is able to get better, because like the art style here is amazing and the idea of this school of magic is so cool. Why aren't we doing the school of magic stuff? Like why are we out on a train being told how bored we are over and over and over, and then finding ourselves in a situation where we're going to go explore a tree? This is the most exciting thing that's happened. She says, "What's this? Looks like little honey pumpkin." What? What's that? It's a type of weed that grows in forest areas. The vines grow so fast that you can never get rid of get rid of them by hand. I see. You must find the nucleus hidden somewhere to get rid of it. then I guess we can also get rid of this if we find the nucleus. It does feel like a weird translation issue because bulb would probably be a better translation there. Or just return to the train quietly. That can't happen. Let's go look for the nucleus. So it must be nearby. Since the nucleus stop saying that word, gives off the light. When you touch the vine, you'll be able to find it. Okay, touch it. Oh, it's over here. Okay, so we gotta remove. And now we can get past. Eventually. There we go. Hey! Great, it's time to explore. Man, where was this music earlier? I feel like it's needed it desperately. Please don't use that word, explore. That word gives me anxiety. No thanks to your mother. Sprint with space. Okay, so we got a whatchamacallit? Stamina bar? Where's our stamina bar? Am I sprinting? I guess I am. Okay. Shake the bush. Acquire the apple. A cran apple. Can I eat it? No. I don't know what that's for. I'm sure it's for potion making. We are a witch after all. What's this? Oh, I can shake a tree. I can acquire a stick. I've got a branch. I'm not afraid to use it. Grab. Oh, can I like use this on stuff? Interesting. So it reminds me of like old school adventure games like Monkey Island where you like select an item to use it on something. And a very puzzle. Ooh, there's a well. Oh, I gotta remember I can sprint now. I love our hat. There's stuff that I love about this game. I just wish that it had a more compelling intro and more compelling dialogue. The shining tree is at the peak of the mountain, so go quickly if you want to see it. We must return to the train by tomorrow morning. Yeah. So at this point, I think that I'm kind of done trying to muscle my way through this. It's at the point where I get kind of the idea of the game here. They haven't given me enough gameplay to justify a first impressions video, because the first impressions are not great. Maybe after like an hour, it gets a little bit better and you actually kind of get more into the game. But like from what I looked at, video wise and screenshot wise before getting into the game, because I always do that when before I take a look at something first impressions wise, just kind of get an idea of what kind of game it is and whether it'll work on the channel. It gave me vibes that it would be something more along the lines of like a Stardew Valley, or something like that, or like a Witchwood. Oh, Witchwood is a great example of that, where you're out in the woods and you're kind of being a witch, and the whole idea of being a part of a magic school, and then you're going into this cabin and there's this weird detour that's happened here, and I'm sure like narratively speaking they have a good through line. It's just not pulled together very well right at the beginning, at least. And I personally was hoping for a different game, right? And I didn't get it. So now I have two things going on, where I'm disappointed by the dialogue and the intro, and then I'm also disappointed that I'm not playing that other games that I imagined this game to be. So it's like a double whammy there of disappointment. That said, this game still might be a game that is for you. Maybe you are into more esoteric games that have your deeper dialogue, or not necessarily deeper. I probably should avoid that word, because I think deep dialogue is more like a BioWare thing, or like The Witcher. But a dialogue that is very Eastern inspired, and there's nothing wrong with that. I quite enjoy JRPGs, for example, and those have something very similar going on. But this, I think, is not quite my kind of game, unfortunately. Might be for you, and if it is, I've got a link to it in the description. It's actually really cheap, so even if you do just want to grab the game and check it out, maybe you have a free afternoon, then by all means. And maybe you just enjoyed my reaction to the fact that this world uses pies as currency. And that's what's going to stick with me about this game. They use pies for train tickets. 500 pies, in fact, which is a lot of pies, and that is so disappointing, because pies are better than cake, So what are cake? Like cakes are like, you know, like small currency then in this world? What's above pies? I don't know. Ice cream? Probably not. Pies are amazing, depending on the pie. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you wish to check anything more out on the channel, maybe a game that you would be more interested in, I upload daily and have been doing so for 10 years. You can check out the channel and maybe there's something for you to watch. If you want to support the channel, you can either go to patreon.com/OSWguild, or you can become a YouTube channel member by hitting the join button next to the subscribe button down below. Please like this video if you thought it was entertaining at the very least. And if the game is not for you, then like the video for my sake, because I suffered. I suffered for you, and that's the best that I can do. I feel bad for being. I'm generally not mean to games when I check them out in first impressions, but every now and again I definitely am. There's been a handful over the last year that I don't give off a good first impressions, but that's what this series is all about. With all that being said, thank you for watching, and we shall see you all next time.